During our conversation, we talked about the future of Bitcoin and will also address its liquidity levels. The topic of cryptocurrency was discussed. Even presented the XRP chart on the thing that we were going to demonstrate to you. The topic is going to be discussed once more. Are we done with it? Without further ado, I am of the opinion that April will not be a challenging month until May and June, when things will appear to be beginning to improve. Now let's get something going. Make certain that everything is taken care of. In the past 24 hours, the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum has decreased by 2.99%, ending at $3,281 in total. For the time being, it is not available. The fact that both USDT and USDC are currently trading at $1 is indicative of the fact that a sizable quantity of money has been removed from cryptocurrency exchanges and distributed to stable funds. The price of XRP has dropped by 88.2% and is currently at $0.54. We are not quite at the bottom of the list. Nevertheless, we are getting close to that range of $162C. For your information, the current market capitalization of the SOA cryptocurrency is $2 trillion, which is equivalent to $493 billion. Where should we go from this point on? The most important question will be discussed in a moment, but before we do that, I would want to begin by showing you this video clip. Is this something? To perform lookups is the function that XRP is designed to fulfill. From the very beginning, the leader has been trampled and stepped on, and that is what has happened. But don't panic, people. There are still plenty of opportunities for XRP to move during this bull run. Even if we know that it moves last and does so violently, as you can see, there are still plenty of opportunities for it to move. In what way is this race being conducted? Over the past few months, Binance Coin has achieved major advancements. At this point, it is easy to understand that Ethereum is on the verge of disappearing. Thus, what are we going to do to bring everything to a close? The bull run is not yet over. Guys, this is not the end of it. Even with the most significant alterations, Bitcoin is not going to be an obstacle for us. We are going to see it through. We were conscious of this fact. In addition to providing you with the charts and warning you about the impending decline on this channel, we also featured Keith in a quick YouTube video for the purpose of discussing the matter. In addition to that, we gave you information regarding the Bitcoin liquidation zones, the XRP buy zones, and the potential locations of the decline. On the 16th of April, Jack asserts that we have rejected the notion that the institutional sales of XRP are not securities with our decision. The message that he is conveying to Lara is, however, well, give this a brief listen. A deal is not currently on the table. He declared in the open from the beginning of the case that if the SEC confirms that Ripple's sales and distributions of XRP and XRP's trading in the secondary, if the market is prepared to agree that the case settles pretty nicely, then it does not as a security. The question that needs to be answered is whether or not they are willing to acknowledge that there have been a lot of rumors and hype claiming that the case between Ripple and the SEC is likely to come to an end. No explanation seems to make sense to me. To tell you the truth, I don't really see any reason why this would be the case. I'm being fully honest with you. Nevertheless, it's possible that I'm wrong. It is my opinion that people are merely trying to get their voices heard and participate in the discussion. However, I am completely perplexed as to why it would abruptly stop happening. They did, in fact, engage in settlement negotiations. However, you should be aware that settlement negotiations are something that they constantly do. When that time comes, it will be over. As far as both parties are concerned, everything is going to be okay in this situation. There will surely be a fee that Ripple is required to pay. The sum that D is demanding, which is ridiculous and dangerously close to being a record, will not be met. When Dan Schman, who works for PayPal, makes the observation that Brad Garlinghouse is the most well-dressed guy in the room, it's like being on a roller coaster. You are aware that Brad is the most well-dressed individual in the entire room, right? The drops in XRP that occur in this Ripple are quite valuable in the industry. All right, so let's make it perfectly obvious. I am impressed by your presence in San Francisco as well as the manner in which you perform on stage with your small team while maintaining a formal image. Due to the fact that we are selling cowboy boots to banks through a major organization, he is more than welcome to wear the boots that I had planned to wear. We are making an effort to wow the financial institutions, but I expected that you were already aware of this. Do you have any idea what the banks are supposed to be? Is it correct that you are drawn to? There is a slight diversion, but on occasion we have meetings with bank executives who come to our office for meetings. It is humorous, actually, because there is a short intermission. The attire that they wear when they arrive at our office is casual. A trip to our place of employment, where we get dressed up, miss each other, and do the same thing over and over again. Always being able to hear from Brad is a wonderful experience. It is now $66,000 for one Bitcoin. An adverse day for hazardous assets causes a 10% to 15% decrease in the value of all currencies. A chart can be found there. Are you aware that there is a disadvantage? Would you like to know the reason why, despite the fact that I was not upset because I was finally able to pick up my velo? You are absolutely correct. I was able to acquire it for 0.1 cents. It was a con artist. Within my opinion, the WIC program is a fraud. WIC got the job done. Viewing 0.8 down is possible. It has been brought to my attention that this is the moment at which the WICs start to diminish. In spite of the fact that we are concentrating on the first 7 days, the WIC can still be seen from the perspective of the 24 hours. Specifically, it fell to 0.8 in this instance. Because we scooped it, it did not remain for very long. Now, I want to make a really huge step into VO, but before I do that, I want to get back up. In any case, it is only 1 penny, and he might go up to 25 cents, which is equivalent to 25 times, so I believe that I will handle it in a fair manner. Frank, I believe that is going to be the next step that I take in this process. On the other hand, we reach this stage when they have just woken up and recognized that they have been liquidated during the course of the night. Despite the fact that a great number of individuals have been tweeting about this, I would want to provide you with a summary of what is now taking place. Putting an end to leverage is the primary message conveyed by this tweet. They will remove the ability to leverage. He claims that he has lost everything. Steer clear of utilizing leverage. Steer clear of utilizing leverage. Steer clear of utilizing leverage. This is the video that we showed you, which belongs to Keith. Both it and XRP, as well as its location, have been discussed. To tell you the truth, we have been discussing this topic on this channel for several weeks, and we have already informed you that it is going to take place. At this point in time, Keith and I are the only ones who are able to identify the precise timing of the movement. He focuses his attention quite intently on the charts. He gives you information on the actions that you ought to anticipate. When I argued for this action several months ago, I predicted that the value of XRP would decrease and that it would be subject to a reevaluation. It is possible that even 50 cents will hit a level of 48 cents before making its next move higher. All of this is perfectly timed because the is in 10 days, and we always see Bitcoin correct soon before the halving see you. This is the perfect set of circumstances. It seems that everyone is optimistic. You are thinking, oh, it's going to crash to the ground or it's going to skyrocket. This is not how it behaves in any way. Half of Bitcoin is split in half. The price of Bitcoin continues to backtrack and fall. Then, after a few weeks have passed, and the price goes up once more, does this just cause you to adjust your plans for the future? When XRP reaches a price that is higher than 75 cents in either May or June, we will see a revival. The motion of it will be witnessed by us. Bitcoin is expected to continue to hit 100,000, the 125,000, and the 150,000. In fact, there are individuals who are asking 200,000 listeners. Right down here is where you'll find the 100. It's 50, is that correct? It is the 200th time. This is the 8 and 21 EMAs, respectively. At this point, it seems as though it is going to try to put all of them to the test by delving further into all of those incredible things. Despite the fact that I really hope it doesn't, that trend line appears to be plausible. That thing has a hit that is reminiscent of California. In this way, it is comparable to a skunk that refuses to keep still. It is possible that we could witness a tiny increase in price here due to the fact that it continues to go forward nevertheless. I believe that we will experience one more stab down when Bitcoin makes its final move. That, in my perspective, is detrimental to XRP. Given the current circumstances, it is quite probable that this is our last chance to quote and unquote the low price before it crosses the trend line. Re-examine the pattern if you like. For a limited period of time, the line rises and falls at a rate that